This channel supports 8-Bit Salute and Operation Supply Drop. Please help us raise money to help support our men and women in service throughout the world. Operation Supply Drop, making fun where there is none. What up, everybody? This your boy Black Magus, and taking a break from watching the Olympics. Yes, I know I've been really into the Olympics. I tend to do that. I feel like it's just that thing that you do. And I'm sure it's not just an American thing. I'm sure it's something that happens all over the world where people who enjoy sports could probably care less about a lot of these sports. But when it's this international big grand event called the Olympics, we all tend to like turn our attention and watch damn near everything. Like I'm sitting here watching medal awards and things like that. You know, looking at swimming. I don't watch swimming on the regular, but I've been watching it now. I don't really care that much about water polo, but I watch water polo, stuff like that. It's really cool how the Olympics draws your interest into these sports that normally you can give a fuck about. And of course, you get sort of a sense of pride, even if you have issues with your country. Like, Lord knows a lot of us have issues with the United States, but we seem to rally around our athletes when it comes to the Olympics and show national pride, you know, cheer them on, whatnot. I don't know, it's just something that's embedded in us. It's funny. A friend of mine has posted a picture on Facebook where the caption was 98% of the time America is trash. When the Olympics start, then it shows a picture of someone like dressed in like the American flag, like just straight up 100% everything they're wearing embodies the American flag and symbols of the United States. That's kind of how we tend to get. Now, there's another point of pride that comes with watching the Olympics, at least for me, and I think this goes for a lot of African Americans. For those of you who don't know, I am African American, and that is pride in African American athletes. And you know, I know people sometimes wonder why it's that way, and I guess I wanted to do a video to kind of explain to people why I get a deep sense of pride in the accomplishments of my African American athletes. Now, I will say this, generally speaking, when it comes to, say, we win the gold in basketball, you know, congratulations, USA basketball. That doesn't like overwhelm me with pride. We've been very good in basketball for years. It happens. Track and field, you know, proud of African American athletes, but for the most part, African American athletes have done well over the years. The reason I think I don't have as much pride in those two sports as I do in some other areas is because those are the traditional sports that we are, quote unquote, expected to perform well in. I get more pride from seeing what I saw this year with Simone Manuel winning the first African American woman gold, or Simone Biles, or what Gabby Douglas did in the last Olympics, winning gold medals in all around gymnastics. You know, I get that, makes me feel more happier than anything. I think part of the reason why it does that is because these are sports where typically we kind of, I guess you could say, aren't expected to perform in, let alone do well in. These are sports that are, quote unquote, traditionally sports that mostly white athletes perform in. And to see an African American not only participate but perform well is kind of heartwarming. For me, the reason it's heartwarming is because I've always been somebody who says that it's one thing to continue to do things that you're, quote unquote, expected to do, but it's another to see you achieve greatness and things that for years has been labeled as like a quote unquote white sport or a non-black sport, something that you're not interested in, you can't achieve in. Like with swimming, everybody knows in the United States that not a lot of African Americans swim, at least not on a level that you see swimming athletes do. A lot of African Americans don't know how to swim. Sure, we'll get in pools and things like that, wade water, but knowing how to just like swim, basic swimming, is something that's not, that wasn't, I should say, big in the community, but has gotten bigger over the years. Now it's gotten to the point where we have these athletes performing, and I love the fact that we have a Simone Manuel win, because for me that says, look, you don't just have to do the quote unquote traditional black sports. You don't have to pigeonhole yourself to the stereotypical things that we are expected, and more importantly, that we tend to hold ourselves to. Like, I feel like a lot of times we hold ourselves to only pursuing certain careers, certain disciplines of sports, things like that. We tend to quote unquote stay with the black sports, which you shouldn't do. You should always try to involve yourself in any and everything. I love the fact that I'm seeing African American athletes perform well and go out there and show their communities that, hey, you could be whatever the hell you want. You could be a gymnast. You could be a swimmer. You could be a shot put specialist, as Michelle Carter did. First American woman to win a gold medal in shot put, I think, ever. I know she's like the first one to win the medal in over 50 years or something like that, which is phenomenal. Do things outside the box. That's the thing that I get the most excited about, the most geeked about, is seeing African Americans achieve greatness in things that aren't just stereotypical of them. Just like I remember back in 2008 when President Obama won his first election. I remember tweeting out to everybody I know that, look, this should be looked at as a great moment where we should be very inspired at, because this shows us we aren't just limited to being the stereotypical things in life. We can be president. We can be politicians. We can be doctors. We can be lawyers. We can be neurologists. We can be astrophysicists. If we put our minds to it, we can do anything. And that's the way that I feel like we should always look at things. We shouldn't just think, I'm black, I can't do this because of whatever roadblocks or anything. A lot of times, it's not just other forces holding us back. We hold ourselves back because we feel like we shouldn't even attempt it because of those other things, or because, sadly, a lot of times in the community we kind of dismiss it. We kind of laugh at people. I remember there was a time where being smart and black and into the nerdy stuff was kind of like the worst thing in the world. You would get so chastised. But look at just look at what we're doing now on YouTube with gamers and people who do into anime and all that. There was a time where you were a black person and you talked about that stuff openly, you would get chastised. But now it's okay and it's a lot more celebrated. And it's accepted. And that's the thing. It's always going to take those people who are willing to say, fuck it, I'm not going to be held to those stereotypes. I'm going to pursue what I want to do and try to be successful in my dreams, my hope. I'm not going to limit it to what people expect me as an African American to do. And that's why I love watching the Olympics and seeing African American athletes succeed in these different sports that are beyond what the norm is. It's great. And I feel like we should celebrate people like Simone Manuel, Michelle Carter, and gosh, the name just fell off my head, and I apologize because there was someone else who achieved the gold medal in a sport that we're not used to being associated with. But all of you guys, I applaud you. I mean, I applaud everyone who's successful, black, white, whatever. But I'm Simone Biles. That's who it was. But I applaud people who go outside the box and don't just do well in other things, you know. And it's not just about the black race either. It's about all races. Don't think that just because you're of a certain race that you can't do anything. If you know, do it. If if it's something that's your passion, your dream, pursue that and try to be the best at it. And try not to let people's stereotypes and things hold you to that. You know, it's just, I think the world would be better if we would stop basically pigeonholing each other. And I think as African Americans, coming from just my demographic standpoint, we need to stop holding ourselves back and stop making fun of each other when we want to do something that's quote unquote white. No, we should encourage people to pursue their dreams and to be happy no matter what. We should stand behind each other because, again, we're always expecting outside forces, other races, to hold us back, to quote unquote knock us down, to limit us in our opportunities. Why are we doing it to ourselves? We should be picking each other up and pushing each other forward past all of the racism and whatever else that may hold you back. We shouldn't be one of our own worst enemies. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous that it happens, but it happens. It really does. But I know this went on kind of long, but this is just something I just wanted to get off my chest. And I'm very passionate about it. I really do feel strongly about this, and I hope that if you're watching these Olympics and you've seen the success of these people, these young ladies, African Americans who have succeeded in things that go beyond what we're quote unquote traditionally expected to succeed in, that you are inspired and that you are willing to go after your dreams and pursue whatever it is you want, and not just feel like you have to be this or that in order to achieve because you're black. No, you're a human being just like everybody else. You can achieve whatever you want as long as you believe in yourself and you work hard at it. Always believe that, and don't let anything hold you back. Don't let your own race hold you back. Don't let other races hold you back. Keep fighting for your dreams, and only pay attention to those who are willing to back you up and who encourage you to keep fighting and to be the best that you can be always. That's pretty much how I look at it. But anyway, whew, that was a long ass video, but hey, it's just something I needed to just get off my chest. Anyway, as always, you guys feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll hit you later. This your boy Black Makers, and I'm out. Deuces.